Hi guys, so the Warhammer 40k Kill Team Into the Dark box set has been out now for a good week or so, but obviously I thought I'd be clever, and before it actually came out I made up a kill zone board. As you can see, this is it. There's a video on my channel somewhere where you can see how I made this. Basically lots of 3D printed parts glued together, filled in with grout, and then obviously painted. And as you can see, I've made it look like quite a rust bucket, as obviously this Space Hulk's been floating around for, well, hundreds of years, and yeah, it's a rusty thing. But as we all know, the Killzone board, the size has changed. So unfortunately this one is now, well, a little bit big. Well, it's big in one way, but short in another. So I'm going to make another board up, obviously the correct size. And for this one, I've got these MDF sheets that I'm going to sort of stick together. The previous board was the one whole sheet, but it's quite expensive. So as I've already got these sheets, yeah, I might as well use these. So as you can see, a bit of tape on the back while I glued them. They're all glued in place. And then I've marked out the squares on there. Just so when I come to make the tiles, it's easy to then obviously position them in the right place. And talking of tiles, here's one I made earlier. So this was 3D printed on my Anycubic Cobra printer. There is a link in the description, guys, to where you can check this one out. So I had my settings on, well, basically the fastest setting there is, which should mean these should come out really, well, really rough and poor. But to be honest, they've come out really well. So considering this is sort of the fastest, poorest setting, yeah, I'm certainly pleased with how these look. Obviously, it made them nice and waver thin because they, well, they don't need to be thick. So obviously, it uses less filament. It's quicker to print them because obviously I had to print out about 42 of these little suckers. So yeah, printing them thinner obviously was a lot quicker, but as you can see, yeah, there are lots. So it did take quite a while. So yeah, guys, if you want to print these ones out, I went on Thingiverse, typed in sort of space floor tiles, and this popped up. So this is the main sort of one I'm going to be using. Obviously I'll leave a link down below. There's quite a lot of different sort of styled tiles, because some of these I actually used in my first board that I made, but it's this square one that I'm actually using this time. But as I didn't want all the tiles to look exactly the same, I took them into Tinkercad. Lovely little free software where you can obviously adjust things and change things. Obviously I'm quite limited in what I know or how to use the 3D software. But this is a nice simple one to do simple stuff with. So one of the things I did was obviously I cut out the centre part just so I could put in other sort of space looking tiles. Again, just sort of vary it up, but at least then the edge of every tile looks the same. And yeah, it worked really well. So I've got quite a few combinations, as well as obviously all those little square tiles that I put around the edge of the whole board. But obviously you'll see them sort of coming up. And yeah, simple software, nice and easy to use. Link in the description, obviously, where you can get the basic of these tiles from. As I previously mentioned, I use the Anycubic Cobra printer for this one. So link in the description, guys. They've got a big sale on lots of their printers, resin ones and FDM ones. And so it's this little one that I used. Well, I say little, not that little. Yeah, I've got it set up, but I haven't got it set up where I can film it yet. So in my next few videos, I'll film obviously some footage of this little bad boy, yeah, in progress. So awesome printer, did it really well. Yeah, no issues there at all. So yeah, back to the board. It's then just a case of gluing it all together. So I'm using the good old Gorilla Glue, just because this one is a fairly cheap sort of glue to buy, and it sticks really, really well. And the thing I love about this is it takes about 15 minutes. Well, 15-20 minutes for it to sort of really cure, harden, whatever you want to call it. So this gives you time to obviously get plenty of the tiles on, but if you need to move them around in any way, then you've got that little bit of leeway to yeah, to move stuff about, which is pretty cool. And so once this stuff does dry, it's as solid as anything. So it's pretty good stuff. And the fact you can use it for foam board as well, which is cool because it doesn't eat into that. So yeah, this is kind of my general go-to glue. Obviously sometimes I like to use super glue, but in this case there was no rush for these to dry. And I say, if anything, it's nicer that it does give me a chance to sort of move them around and, well, basically rearrange them if I need to. And as you can see, I can sort of spread out loads of glue to cover a big area. And it's almost like tiling. I can just put loads down kind of at once. So no real pattern, apart from the outer edge does have these like little square tiles on some of the these bigger tiles. but the centre bit, it really was just higgledy-piggledy. I think I've got about four or five, I think, I can't really remember, to be honest, different styles of tiles. So yeah, just sort of like mixing them up so they're not sort of next to each other. And yeah, just really pleased with how the whole thing sort of came out. And obviously from this point, it was nice and quick on the old sort of like assembly of it all. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you've made your own sort of Kill Team Into the Dark, the zone board up. If you have, I'd love to see pictures of it. Join Discord, there's a link in the description. So head over there. Lots of lovely people there, basically showing off what we make and what we do. So yeah, if you made a board, I'd love to see it. Yeah, click on the link and become a member of the Discord. So obviously there's a few gaps in between all these tiles. I could have sanded each tile down to obviously make it sort of super flat, but no, I didn't. I think the other reason is I kind of always see any imperfections in anything I build or make. I'm going to get the grout out, so I'm just using a bit of grout, filling it in, and yeah, it works a wonder. And obviously because this is a derelict kind of spaceship, I don't mind if things do look a little bit sort of, well, wear and tear here and there, or things don't meet up sort of perfectly, as that just all adds to the character of this Space Hulk, which is yeah, which I can't wait to use. So say the original board I made, I did do a couple of games on it. I got my first game, or Into the Dark first game, next week. So yeah, looking forward to that. While I am grouting, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons, as well as my sponsors, Easy Roller Dice and Anycubic, for helping sponsor the channel and making it sort of possible for me to keep going out and buying the materials I need to obviously make more and more videos, which is pretty cool. So cheers, guys. So yeah, that's the board all nice and dried and sort of settled in, and then it's a case of primed it in black. If you've seen it in many of my videos, you'll see that my general sort of go-to painting technique on any sort of terrain is prime in black, dry brush with silver. Probably haven't got enough silver on the brush here, I'll put a bit more in a minute. And then once it's got silver all over it, then I go over and I dry brush with copper. I just love the effect this gives. It does seem to make obviously anything look a bit more like metal. Obviously we've each got our own sort of go-to styles. But this is the kind of style that I like, and this is what I've gone with. And I'm also making the Into the Dark terrain pieces. I painted them in the same sort of way. There is a video out, guys, showing how I've started to paint some of the pieces, as well as obviously I magnetised all the terrain parts, the walls, just to make it easy for them to sort of like clip together and unclip, which is nice and important. So I think in actual fact, I actually used a bronze for this. I think I normally use copper, but I think it must have run out. So I used the bronze, which, well, as you can see, is pretty much the same sort of colour effect as the copper. But yeah, I definitely like doing this. So this board, unlike the first one I made, I've not done the rust effect, only because I wanted to wait till I painted all of the kill zone terrain parts, just to see how it all looks. And then I might go over some of the bits and add a bit of rust. But this time, no rust, just, well, just the floor panels as they are, made up to look obviously silverish or metalish, or any kind of ish. If you haven't already, guys, it'd be great if you could give this video a thumbs up. Obviously leave comments down below once you've finished watching it, and if you are able to share it anywhere, that would be wonderful, guys, because basically obviously it all helps out the channel, getting it promoted to more people, and obviously it just helps me out no end. So yeah, be much appreciated. Thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And as you can see, I finished the board off by doing the old sort of like hazard stripes. I think every spaceship needs to have these hazard things, well, just because there's loads of hazards on a spaceship, especially one that's been floating around for hundreds of years, well, with all kinds of creatures lurking in the corridors. So I've just finished painting the Grout kill team, which is now my 5th kill team that I've painted in, well, in 5 weeks, which is pretty good going. I've obviously got the Navy Marine guys. I'll be doing them soon. If there's anyone you want to see me paint, guys, let me know, as my plan is to kind of eventually, well, get all the kill teams, just because I think they're pretty awesome. So there we go. Yeah, the board's looking nice. It's all done and ready for obviously the terrain pieces to go on. So these bits, I've done a rough obviously painting on these. There really is so much in the way of scatter terrain and walls and bits and pieces in the kill team box set. So obviously I haven't got round to painting everything fully. But as you can see, obviously magnetised, so it's nice and good. They obviously secure each other. It's a lot easier than trying to sort of clip the parts in and then unclip them. So I do like the fact that I put magnets in. There's a video out, guys. Go and check that out. I might try and leave that as the link at the end of the video. But yeah, magnetising these walls does make obviously assembly and disassembly just so nice and easy, which is awesome. So as well as using this kill zone board for obviously playing the kill teams, I'm also going to use it as a backdrop for whenever I make or paint new teams up. I'll be able to take some great pictures. Yeah, this is a backdrop, which is pretty cool. So obviously here's my intercessors. I've yet to play these, although these are the team I will be playing next week, which I can't wait. Obviously good old Darth Vader and Stormtroopers. There's a video showing me kit bashing these guys if you want to see that. Again, I might try and leave the link at the end of this video. But yeah, obviously I love them teams, and they're going to look and work so well in this Gallowdark setting. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, eat cookies, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.